Yes, good evening to Satish and good evening to Ramakrishnan. Uh, is my voice audible to you people? KP and G Satish, is my voice audible to you? Okay. So I don't think there is any other class which is in progress right now because only two of you are there in the class today. So shall I start the class or I wait for others to join? Please confirm that. Is there any other class going on apart from this one? KP, you have any idea? Okay, I'll wait for others to join. Okay. Yes, good. Very good evening to you, Kelvin. I'll wait for a minute and two, then we can start probably. Okay, what I'll do is now is uh, because already 5 to 6 minutes have passed. So our today's class is on the topic event management, and in today's class we'll be seeing some of the presentations, some of the one or two videos are there, and one quiz is there for this class on event management. So event management, as the word suggests, that event, what is event? You plan a birthday party, you plan an official get together, if you are giving farewell to somebody, you are organizing one mega event, you are promoting your company's product. So all these things comes under the term event management because these are all event. And for managing event, it is called as event management. Now when you plan any event, you need to have a budget for that, you need to have a financial budget for that, you need to decide the resources, that how many people and of what skill set people are required for planning an event, what at what place you are planning the event, whether that particular place is available for that event or not. Then I mean you have to keep on every aspect. Then who is the audience, who is going to come there, how you will invite the audience, what type of performance you want to include into so as to make your event more and more interactive, how you market your event, how you reach out to people who are your audience so that there are more number of audience present in the event. So all you need to decide an event, how you communicate to your superiors that you are planning for this event and how you convince them for the budget, because you need to have some investors, you need to have some shareholders, you need to have some stakeholders who are participating in your event. You need to have some sponsors. If you are planning a big mega event, you need to have some sponsors who can put in money. So all these things comes under this term event management. So in the meantime, instead of waiting for others to join, I'll play one video for you. So if somebody has to join, then he or she can join in the class. So, so just everybody concentrate on the video.
To the Simplicity Event Planning 101.
It's a very elaborative and very important video.
Be as successful as possible when you plan your club events this year. So this video is packed and nearly exhaustive with all the great tips, advice, and requirements you need to know about planning club events at Saddleback. So sit back, get a notepad ready, and feel free to come back to this video or each sectional video each time you're working on an event. In this video, we will go over the definition of an event as it pertains to the Saddleback College's Clubs program, and the step-by-step process of planning an event with or without funding requests, which includes the democratic process, the event planning worksheet, working with your club's faculty or staff mentor, deadlines, a quick overview of budget form, and an in-depth look at the event request form, which will include room assignments, equipment use, bringing food on campus, collecting funds, speakers, VIP parking, publicity, and what to do after your event. So now that I have an active club, I'm able to plan events using Simplicity's event request form. And since I've attended the Budget 101 workshop, I am also able to utilize any funding that my club has by submitting the budget form prior to submitting my event planning form. If you haven't attended the Budget 101 workshop, don't worry. Just go to www.saddleback.edu/clubs to make an appointment for the workshop. You will need to complete the workshop in order to access any funds that your club may have. You'll learn really valuable information, and the bonus, your club will get money added to the ICC account for attending. So what is an event? Within the Saddleback College Clubs program, an event is defined as any activity outside of the club's regularly scheduled meetings. Even a table and a couple chairs out on the quad is an event. An exception to this is if you have a special request for one or more of your regular scheduled meetings, such as additional AV or any purchases the club may wish to make for the regularly scheduled meeting. If this applies to you, you will need to submit either or both of the forms. Event planning itself is an intricate process, both here at Saddleback or anywhere else you might be planning events, now and in the future. Trust me, I know. The Student Development Office here at Saddleback has designed the club's program to help you gain useful and valuable experiences outside of the classroom, and event planning totally is. Most of the skills you learn in this program will translate to other venues of your life, and especially your next educational destination. If your club wants to host a festival, fundraiser, public service, or other new event on campus, all you need is an idea and to complete the budget and/or event request forms with any necessary documentation. Though there are multiple steps, once you get the hang of it, it is totally doable. This video will stay up all year, so I totally encourage you to come back to it each time you plan an event during the year, and refresh your knowledge of this process. So now, with all the formalities out of the way, I'm going to walk you through the whole process while we plan my club's first event of the year. The step-by-step processes of planning an event. I know that planning an event both requires my entire club pulling together as well as my club mentor. It is to your advantage to not be a one-person or few-person team, but to pull together all of your people resources in order to create and execute a successful event. After all, who will help me purchase decorations and set up the venue if I don't work with my clubmates? I definitely can't do it alone, and I don't want to either. Including all of your club members in the decision and planning process will make people more likely to participate because they feel invested in the event. Use your meetings to hold discussions and votes regarding all of the event's details. You will already need to hold an official meeting and submit meeting minutes to the Student Development Office via Simplicity when requesting to use club funds, so take advantage of that time. Event Planning Worksheet. Every time I plan an event, I find it really helpful to download and print off the event planning worksheet. This worksheet was developed to help you plan your events during your club's meetings. All of the information on the worksheet directly correlates to the budget and event request forms that you will be completing in Simplicity. I bring the worksheet with me to my club meeting and use it as a check-off list to make sure that we have considered everything that we may need in order to have a complete and successful event. After the meeting, I use it to complete the forms in Simplicity, and I know I will have everything ready to be able to submit the complete forms. Working with your club's mentor. When I plan events, I always make an appointment with my club mentor to go over the event details with her prior to submitting the forms. The college's policy is that if the event is after student development hours, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 8 a.m., or Friday after 12 p.m., including weekends, or off campus at any time, your mentor must be present for the duration of the event during teardown and cleanup. You should always consult with your mentor prior to submitting any of the forms so that when he or she is requested to approve your event, the approval is not held up with questions he or she may have. And of course, do not plan after hours or off-campus events without the agreement that he or she will be present.
Within the Simplicity system, only the designated leadership of a club is permitted to submit budget and event request forms. The leadership represents the wishes of the club members as a whole and therefore represents the club's involvement of each event that is planned by the club. This does not mean that within your club, only the leadership may plan an event. It just means that the leadership must always be involved and must submit the forms on behalf of the club. We are talking about bottom-up leadership. On a side note, if you want to know what that is, you should check out the Leadership Lab that is offered through the Student Development Office.
Okay, so I have completed the helpful worksheet, I have talked with and received verbal approval from my advisor, so now I'm going to move on to submitting the forms. The most important advice I got from the Student Development Office was that I must submit complete forms. So now I'm telling you to make sure that when you submit the forms, you have included everything that is requested by the forms and all details are included that may not have been requested. Forms that have been received which are incomplete cannot be processed. Incomplete forms will be denied and must be resubmitted. Deadlines. I also know that all budget and event request forms must be submitted no later than 2 full weeks prior to my event date, as the Student Development Office must work with several entities within the district to fulfill requests, and each entity has its own deadlines. Because of this, forms submitted less than 2 full weeks in advance cannot be processed. So, if you do not complete all the steps in time, the event date will need to be pushed back in order for the forms to be submitted. The exception to this rule is if I want to have a check up front to pay a DJ or caterer directly. I need to submit my budget form no later than 4 weeks in advance, as that is how long it takes to process checks through the district.
Submit a budget transaction form. If you have attended the Budget 101 workshop, the club's leadership will have access to your club's accounts. If your event needs the use of the club's money, you will need to submit a budget transaction form prior to submitting the event request form. For all the details about your budget, please see the amazingly helpful video, Budget 101. Please note, if you need an advance check to a vendor, you must submit this form and all required documents no later than 4 weeks prior to the date that the check is needed.
Everybody, Satish, Ramakrishnan and Kelvin. So from this particular video you are about to get something what is meant by event management. Is it so? Satish, KP and Kelvin? Okay. So just to get in more detail into this event management, I have shared one website with you. Just can you everybody open that website? I have shared the link with you. Have everybody opened? You'll see there is a written why organize an event. Can you see that, everybody? Why organize an event? There is a written why organize an event question mark. Kelvin says yes. What about Satish and KP? KP, are you able to open that? Satish, are you there? I'm not getting any response from you. KP, are you able to open that so that I can move ahead? KP Ramakrishnan, I'm not getting any response from you. Please write down on the chat box. Are you able to open that link? Okay, so just open that page, Kelvin. KP, open that page. So it is written why organize an event. So what is the purpose that you are organizing an event? You are organizing an event either to celebrate a birthday party of your children, or any event can be anything, or you are planning some corporate event, or you are promoting your company's product to the customers, so you have planned an event, or suppose your company has made a profit of say 1000 crores in this particular financial year, so you have planned an event for all your employees residing at the corporate office. So you have booked a hotel, you go there, you have a lunch, you have a dinner there, you go to a you go to a club there, you play games there, you go to some disco bars. So this is an event. So you have planned an event. So event can be anything. So just everybody be on this particular website which I have shared. It usually takes a great deal of time and effort from many people to put on an event of importance, and sometimes you might question after many sleepless nights whether it is all worth it. It is probably easier to answer this question affirmatively if you have organized a successful fundraising event. If an event turns into a healthy profit, generally everyone involved goes home happy. However, most special events have the result that every dollar earned is every dollar spent. What then is the value of special event? Why go to all the effort? It's really a question of the legacy that events of importance leave. Often that legacy is very substantial, although it cannot be easily quantified. In the long term, there is little doubt that events can greatly benefit the organizations that host them. The legacy that special events leave includes raising performance standards, number one. Number two, raising the profile of the organization. Number three, providing promotional opportunities for sponsors. Number four, improving facilities. Number five, upskilling volunteers. Yes, KP, okay, you have opened that page. So the topic is why organizing an event. Just scroll down. There is written the legacy that special events leaves includes. I am into that part. So many a times you are organizing an event and you are left with no profit, no gain. Also many a times if you organize a certain event, like for example I have told you that if you are, suppose you want that the product of your company must reach to some of the good clients you have. Suppose you have some good corporate clients and you are doing business with those good clients say from the last 10 years or 15 years. Now your company has launched some new product and you want that you should call all those 15 clients of yours for the demonstration of that particular new product which is being developed by the company. Now what you do, you will first book a space where you can organize an event, number one. Number two, you will decide what guest, you will decide how much money is being spent on that particular event, number two. Number three, you have to make your presentations ready, which is going to be demonstrated in that particular event, number three. Number four, you will take approvals from your senior people or from your elders that you are planning this event, and for this event we have invited you, and also we have sent an email to the 15 clients senior members. So now you will also have to decide the event schedule, at what time the event is scheduled. You also have to decide that whether you are including dinner and cocktail party into that or not. You will decide that, okay, 1 hour there is an event, then there is a tea break session, then after that tea break session we have another hour event. You will decide that you will decide to call the media people, whether it is a paper media or whether it's an electronic media, so that whatever event which is going to take place next very day, the event details must be published in the newspaper, number one. Number two, it must go on to the news channels. Number three, it must be published on your website along with photos. Number four, officially you will mail the pics of the events to your internal employees within the organization, so as to motivate them up. So there are n number of factors which has to be decided when planning an event, because this particular event is being organized for marketing the new product which is being developed by your company. Now, if you invest in such kind of events, definitely say out of 15 clients, if roughly we can say at least 6 to 7 clients will get motivated and they will start purchasing your new product, number one, and the hospitality which you have given to those particular clients senior members, because you will, to survive in the business world, you need to maintain corporate relationships. So if relationships are good, if relationships are long lasting, if definitely your company will make a mark in the business world. So this is how things move. So planning an event is not an easy exercise, because you have to take a look at n number of factors. Then coming again to the website which I have shared, just go on to the left hand side. It is written types of events at the top. Below the main topic event management, you will find the topic types of events. Just click on that, types of events. Opened. Kelvin Satish and Ramakrishnan, have you opened that? On the left hand side, okay, KP says yes. What about Kelvin? Okay, great. Now the types of event, the organization of events is perhaps the primary activity of sport and recreation organizations. Workers in the sport and recreation industry, salaried and voluntarily, are essentially organizers of people, whether they be event directors, coaches, referees, instructors, or facility supervisors. This organization of people is manifest by what we call an event. The term event in the sport and recreation industry usually refers to a situation where participants, facilities, equipment and other resources are coordinated to enable a form of sport or recreation to occur. The event conducted by sport recreation organizations include competitive or non-competitive sports and recreation events, courses, promotional events, conferences and fundraising events. Now these are the types of events. That means your events can be a competitive, non-competitive sport and recreation event, it can be a course event, it can be a promotional event, it can be a conference, and it can also be a fundraising event. So it depends on the requirement you have. Now, what are competitive events? Competitive events may range from the Olympic Games to a small local under 7 saucer match and anything in between. The scope of events therefore depends upon the purpose of the event, the extent of the participation, the facilities, the equipment required, and the importance of the events in terms of community interest. So, the organization of courses to assist participants learn more about playing, coaching, and officiating are a fundamental part of the work carried out by the recreation organizations. Such events must be carried out to ensure the continuance of the sport or recreation activity. Then, what are promotional events? Promotional events are not primarily organized for the benefit of the player or participant. They are organized to promote the sport or form of recreation activity to a target market with the underlying objective to increase participation. So they may also have a second objective to promote the sponsor to the target market as well. So promotional events are basically organized so as to promote the cricket as well as promote the sponsors. Suppose I'll take an example of cricket. Now there is a format of cricket going on nowadays which we'll call it as a T20 cricket. In T20 cricket, it's a 20 over match. Every team will get a chance to bat for 20 overs. Now in this you will see that lot of players who are wearing the t-shirts. On the back side of the t-shirt there is a logo of a certain company, say IPL league is there. So suppose a DLF company is there. DLF is a very big building company in India, or it's a very big builder in India. Now you will find that all the t-shirt which is being worn by the players, on the back side you will find the DLF. It's written DLF along with the DLF logo. What do you mean by that? It means that number one, you are promoting the cricket, and number two, you are promoting the sponsors, because DLF is a sponsor and DLF has invested money into certain T20 team. So that's why lot of big corporate houses also participates into event management, because they get a chance to market themselves, because there are a lot of audiences who are there watching it on the television or TV, as well as they'll go to the ground to see the match. So it's also a big place to market themselves, because you will find lot of customers who are there who have gone to see the match will definitely also see the DLF logo and the DLF written on the back side of the t-shirt. So that is also one of the promotional events which is being organized by the corporate houses, or rather corporate companies. So that is called as promotional event. Then you may organize conferences. Conferences have many objectives. They may be organized gathering of participants and or members to carry out planning, to review progress, discuss important issues, circulate new information, select committee personnel, examine the position of the organization, and to impart new knowledge about the sport or recreation activity. Now suppose I am a company. Suppose I am a company who manufactures a computer printers I manufacture. Now I have 10 different clients who purchase printers from me. A is one client, B is one client, C is one client, D is one client, and so on. Now these are different clients who purchases printers of my company, which my company manufactures. Suppose my company name is HP, who manufactures printers. Now you have, suppose, a 5 years old relationship with all these 10 clients of yours, and all these 10 clients are purchasing printers of your company from, say, last 5 years. Now since you know that in the technological world every new advancements are going on in a month or 6 months or an year's time. Now you have made certain modifications in the printers, and just because of that modification you have increased the price of printers by certain amount of currency or certain amount of say Indian rupees or US dollars. Now what will happen is your clients will be worried that the price of the printer is increasing. Now what you have done is you have arranged a conference. In that conference you have called all your clients, have a get together with them, just arrange some snacks, some tea, some lunch or dinner probably. Why that particular conference is being arranged? To review the progress, that how the what is the what is the what is the feedback of the clients who are using the printer, number one. How success that particular printer is in in the organization which is being used by the clients, number two. Number three, what are the concerns of the client so as to make printer more better for use. That's number three. So I mean, these are all the issues which is being discussed in the conferences. That's why conference is being arranged. Clear? KP and Kelvin and G Satish, is clear up till now why we arrange conferences? Okay. Any questions? Any doubts? Anybody wants to ask anything? Just go ahead and ask your question. So moving ahead, then comes fundraising events. Fundraising events include dinner functions, special entertainment functions, bingo or card nights, charity auctions and award evenings. Irrespective of the type of event, the skill required to manage an event are much the same, and only the magnitude and complexity differs. Persons who are called upon to manage an event may acquire many titles, but in this text, for the sake of simplicity, they will call the event director. Event director is someone under whose directions the event is being organized. Now then, just click on the word event team. On the left hand side below the word event director, just click on event team. Have everybody opened that event team? Kelvin says yes. KP, are you able to open that word event team on the left hand side? Okay. So it's a structure of an event management team. So what are the event management team comprises of? Let's see. So the work involved in planning, organizing, conducting a major event can be sufficiently great to require the recruitment of a large team of people. Members of the team may be involved on a full-time, part-time, contractor, casual and voluntary basis. At the head of the team is the event director, whose job is to keep everyone work together for a considerable period of time. So the organization chart below indicates the magnitude and diversity of the team needed to run a major sporting event such as a national or state championships. So smaller events will obviously require a much small team, and individuals in the team may be able to take on one or more than one role. So however, your mouse over key positions in the organization chart to find out more. So when now there are a lot of companies in the market, their only job is to manage an event. So what big companies do is, if any big companies, they plan certain event, they outsource their event management to some third party vendor, and there are a lot of dedicated companies in the market who are only into this kind of profession, which we call it as an event management, and their only job is to organize the big events as being required by the major corporate houses. So under the word event director, you see that in the diagram that in an event management company you have event director who is at the top. Under that event director you will find the program coordinator whose responsibility is to coordinate the program. What are the programs? Entries, ceremonies, publishing, tabulation of results, computer scores, etc. Then second part is venue coordinator. The role of the venue coordinator is venue bookings, setup team, risk management, signage, environment control. Number 3, equipment coordinator, sound equipment, equipment maintenance and transport. Then promotions coordinator, that means media license, publicity, advertising, promotional events and media kits. Then you have an official coordinator, umpires, referees, marshals, master of ceremonies. Then you have, if any mishappening happens, for that you have a hospitality coordinator. Under the word hospitality coordinator, you will find sponsor license, catering and reception of dignitaries. Then merchandising coordinator, sales team, giveaways and outlifting of volunteers. So these are the people, or these are the respective small wings under the term event director. Now what are the importance of coordinators? So an important aspect of the above model is that each department has a coordinator. As exceptionally important people in the event management team, they should be identified and recruited as early as possible. Coordinators should be a part of the organizing committee, and collectively they will share in decision making process with the event director. That means each and every department, like program coordinator, venue coordinator, equipment coordinator, any decision which is being taken by these respective departments is in the knowledge of the event director. That means it's only with the concern of the event director they can take any decisions. So event director is the whole sole authority of the whole event. So any event director, that means any event director within the event management company is working on not only on a single event. He has 10 different or 15 different projects simultaneously going on different events as per their relationship and tie-ups with the different corporate houses or corporate companies. So the selection of coordinators is usually on the basis of knowledge of expertise, and sometimes because only one person volunteers for the task. Whether coordinators have expertise or not, event directors need to appreciate that sport and recreation depends very considerably on the input of voluntary persons. Therefore, systems should be put in place to recognize the contribution of volunteers and to provide non-monetary rewards. So that is the structure of an event management team. Now coming back, let me play one more video for you. That what are this particular video is for, what are the 5 big mistakes that is being made in the event management. Just everybody watch this video.
Hi, I'm Darlene Lyons. After 25 years of event management and working with some of the highest paid speakers in the world, I've learned what to do and what not to do. In this 2-part video, I'm going to share with you the top 10 mistakes that I see most event planners make. My goal is to help you avoid making some of these same mistakes that could cost you a lot of money. Let's get started. Mistake number 1 is failure to identify the event objectives. This is a very common mistake, so be sure to know 100% what your management or your client expects from this meeting. List your 3 top objectives. Examples would include education, recruiting, customer retention, awards presentations, new product rollout, executive installation, etc. Mistake number 2 is the failure to budget properly. Many planners make this mistake by overlooking some very costly items. Specifically consider speaker travel, artist and entertainment backstage demands, audio-visual requirements, power, fire permits, internet costs, program handouts, shipping charges, union overtime, decorations, security, and afternoon break refreshments. Don't overlook these costs. Mistake number 3 is the failure to select the right facility. This mistake can destroy even the best event. Things to consider when planning your event are location, location, location. Take into consideration the following items: the locale of your attendees, the proximity of the event to the airport, easy access to freeways and other major thoroughfares, and very important, traffic patterns. Meeting room location, meeting room size, and parking availability and fees will also affect your attendance. Mistake number 4 is failure to hire the right speaker or entertainer. Every planner's worst nightmare is to have an event flop. To avoid this, be sure to use a reputable, skilled speaker or entertainer whom you've personally seen or whose references you've thoroughly checked. And a bonus tip, be sure you carefully read their entire agreement before signing. Number 5 is a failure to identify and secure a solid prospect list in advance. I can't tell you how many times I have seen events fail because of this one factor. Secure your entire prospect list or marketing partner commitments in writing before securing your date. Be sure your list has all names, titles, mailing addresses, email addresses, social media contacts, phone numbers, etc. And if you're using a marketing partner, be very specific in writing about what they will send out and when. Your attendees can't register if you don't reach them. Number 6 is failure to prepare a marketing plan. This definitely ranks in the top 3 with regards to the importance when planning an event. Be sure to lay out your marketing timelines, set goals, and create marketing target dates. Plan your contacts by social media, mail, email, telephone, etc. by week. This will ensure maximum contact in a timely manner and will drive your attendance. Mistake number 7 is failure to secure strong contracts. Here's where you can really run into trouble. Do not promote your event without legible signed contracts for every aspect of your event, including your speaker, the facility, and all other contractors, period. Mistake number 8 is failure to create the right environment. With the hundreds of details you plan for every event, don't overlook your meeting environment. Lighting, seating, room temperature, music, decorations, signage, audio visuals, and the location of the restrooms are all key factors. Get in writing which room you're getting at a hotel or conference center, or you will be the meeting stuck in the most inconvenient location 2 miles from your sleeping rooms with the pillars and in the basement. Mistake number 9 is failure to secure the correct audiovisual equipment. Oh boy, I can remember one time my client spent over $100,000 for a beautiful stage production, complete with the latest audiovisual equipment. Our headlining speaker, Zig Ziglar, got introduced, the crowd roared, and he went on stage and looked dumbstruck. He was missing an important piece of equipment to give his visual presentation. We thought we ordered what his staff requested for him. Obviously we hadn't. This was a powerful lesson I want to help you avoid. Get it in writing. Request a written list of audio-visual needs from every presenter or entertainer and feed back to them your staging setup. And schedule a run-through well in advance of your event start time to be sure everything works properly. And finally, mistake number 10 is failure to market the event properly. Once you've created your marketing plan, stick to it. Once your event is booked, it's critical that all of your marketing contacts go out as planned. Pre-plan your blog posts, your social media posts, email messaging, etc. That way, your messaging stays on time while you handle the hundreds of other details associated with your event. And remember, use every means available to reach your attendees. One method alone does not reach everyone because of all the different generations in today's marketplace. Good luck with your event.
Event management company. So I've also written it on the chat box. Failure to identify event objectives, failure to budget properly, failure to hire right speaker entertainer, failure to identify and secure a solid prospect list in advance, failure to prepare a marketing plan, failure to secure strong contracts, failure to create the right environment, failure to secure the correct audio visual equipment, and failure to market the event properly. So these are some of the common mistakes which is being faced by the event management company. Now very quickly just go on to some of the presentations I have uploaded. Then we can solve the quiz part at the last. So event management is not a rocket science. Number one. Number two, taking the fear out of organizing successful events every time. So where do we start? The event, what is the purpose of event? That is of utmost importance. That why we are planning an event, the purpose must be very clear. What do you want to achieve from that particular event? Who is your target audience? Then you need to make a checklist, that means a timetable. You need to include dates for completion of task. Then what should be the venue of the event? Where you are planning the event? What type of venue is there? When you are planning the event? And also, it's a cardinal rule that never book a venue without an inspection visit. You must visit a venue once before finalizing it. Then venue checklist, correct combination of rooms, accompanying exhibition required, obtain maximum capacity numbers, what style of rather seating is required. Then is a stage necessary? Location, does the main room have any obstructing pillars, etc.? Does the main room have an induction loop system? So these are all the key points which you need to keep a check before you book a venue for the event. Is there natural light? Will the room black out? How noisy is the heating air con? Does the venue have a dedicated coordinator who can assist with arrangements? Then what audio visual equipment is needed? Is there an adequate PA system? Is there good access for disabled delegates? Yes, Kelvin, you want to see the cardinal rule? Just a second. Now you can see it. Never book a venue without an inspection visit. I have circled it. Can you see that, Kelvin? Shall I move ahead, Kelvin? Okay. Then booking the venue, you meet with the conference coordinator, you obtain room, higher rates, negotiate it. The conference venue, daily delegate rate, you check the cancellation fees, you inquire about everything before you book a venue. Then if overnight accommodation, if accommodation needed, it is important for all delegates to remain in one location. If using several hotels, is travel to main venue required, single or twin rooms. Then inspect all accommodation, check latest release dates without incurring cancellation charges. Then the budget, anticipated number of delegates, that means how many people are visiting your event. Is the event to break even or profit desired? Is sponsorship required for the event or not? Always allow a contingency. Be realistic. That means you have some alternate solution always ready. Like suppose if due to certain reason, say venue is not being ready at the desired time, or as on the event date, your say venue is not ready. You need to have some alternative plan for that also. Then for sponsorship, whom you want to approach, what are the sponsorship packages, what are the level of publicity at event. Then invitation to speakers, officials, guests. Then your conference program, decide whether preliminary or primary or final program, what to include, cardinal rule, proofread thoroughly. Then you need to get the registration form filled by the delegates who are visiting. You need to inform them by mail that you need to fill a certain, whosoever is visiting from certain company must fill up the form and mail it back to the event management company, so they need to have an idea that how many people are visiting from which particular organization. And always do ask them just that to either bring a printout of the email confirming that you can visit the event, or you have a certain SMS on your mobile which will show after visiting the event site that I am the concerned person who is being invited for the particular event, so that no outsider or stranger can participate in the event. So at the event, arrive. If an event is happening at some other city, say not in the same city, you can arrive at least the day before. You can meet key organizations personnel. You can establish first aid contact. You complete final risk assessment. You ensure registration desk in prime location. If something goes wrong, then don't panic. Then assessing failure or success, evaluation form at the event or sent out separately. So what organizing nightmares have you experienced, and in hindsight, what would you have done differently? Then if you want to have some media also, then you need to have press release. Decide if you want to prepare one, decide on target audience, how it will be distributed, how to write a press release, keep it short and sweet, maximum two across paper sites, decide for immediate release or to be embargoed, must include the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why, and then and how. There is a template for writing press release. Then dealing with media interest. If the media are interested in your story, they will contact you as organizer first. Always protect your guest speaker. Check with him, her to see if they are happy to give an interview. Schedule with journalist at a convenient time. Risk assessments. The safety of your delegate's guest is paramount. Reason enough to prepare one. It's a careful examination of what could cause harm to people, allowing you to assess if you have taken enough precautions or should do more to prevent harm. It's being prepared. So, preparing a risk assessment, the 5 steps are: identify the hazard, decide who might be harmed, evaluate risk and decide on precaution, record your findings, review assessment and update if necessary. What could go wrong at your event and how would you deal with it? You also need to think of that also. First is the health and safety issues. Knowing your delegates, guests, having access to venue first aider or consider your own training. Knowing the venue emergency evacuation procedure and alarm. Consider making a formal announcement at the opening of your event. What health and safety issues affect the event you organize? Need more health training for event management? You can coordinate with ACE, that means Association of Conference Executives, or Association for Event Management Education. Need for risk assessments, health and safety executives. For press and media relations, coordinate with the press association. What have we learned today? In short, never underestimate the task ahead. Plan, plan and plan. Maintain good effective working relationships. You can't do it alone. That means you need to have a teamwork for accomplishing the desired task. Proofread everything. Never assume anything. Always be prepared for any kind of situation that can occur. So that is a small presentation on event management. Clear to all? KP, Kelvin and Satish, is it clear to you people? Any questions, any doubts? Please ask. Kelvin, any doubts? Any clarifications from your side? Are you there, Kelvin? I'm not getting any response from you. Are you there, Kelvin? Okay. So I think most of the important points I have already covered in this topic of event management. Yes, hello Abdul, you are very late in the class. Class is about to get over in 7 minutes. Our today's topic is event management, but unfortunately you are late in the class. So I'll be sharing these presentations on the with coordinator at lmsrc.com. You can get those presentations from there and read these presentations, and if you have any doubt then we can discuss in the next class. Okay? Okay. Okay, so Kelvin and KP, are you able to see that PDF file which I have shared right now? It's an exercise. Now what you have to do in this is you have to match the following 7 answers to their correct questions in the table below. Now you will see that there are 7 answers given on the top and there are 7 scenarios given at the bottom. You need to match those 7 answers with the 7 scenarios, that which option will fit in where. Are you able to see that? Okay, great. So just start doing it. You have 5 minutes left. Kelvin, if I zoom it, you will not able to see all those 7 points at the top and as well as at the bottom together. That's why I have not zoomed it more. Because it's matched the following. You have to match it. 2 minutes left. Are you done with that, everybody? Okay, so Kelvin KP says first is 7, very good. Second, second, third, third, fourth, first, fifth, sixth, sixth, fourth, seventh, 5. Okay, KP has submitted the answers. What about Kelvin? Kelvin, are you done with that? Just share your answer very quickly. We are running out of time. Kelvin, I am waiting for your answer. Kelvin, are you done with that? Just write down on the chat box. I am not able to get. First is 7, second is second, third is to 1. What about rest answers? Kelvin, write down. Okay, Kelvin, I think whatever answer that Ramakrishnan has given, all of those answers are correct. Very good, Ramakrishnan. Your every answer is correct up to the mark. Kelvin, your first is okay, second is okay, third one is wrong. Then for seventh is correct. Kelvin, just check your answers with Ramakrishnan's answer. He has already written the answers on the chat box. His every answer is correct. Okay? So I think it's time to get the class over because we have already run out of time. So thank you all for your time, KP, Kelvin and Satish. Hope you people have enjoyed today's class, and we'll be meeting in the next class tomorrow. Up till then, just take care of yourself and do give your feedbacks after the class. Okay? So thank you all once again. Take care. Bye-bye.